Hello, this is Olga with dpaf. Here to provide more thoughts about general election is Mr. David. Hello.
Hi Olga, nice to see you.
Hello, nice to see you. Who do you think will win the general election?
Well, that's a good question. I've been thinking about this, and if I was a betting man, I think I'd bet on a hung parliament right now. The reason I say that is because we've had so many general elections over the last few years that have had that result. 2012, 2017, you could say that 2015 there was a majority government, but who then lost the Brexit vote right afterwards. So we've actually got to a situation now where I think this is our fifth general election pretty much in 7 years, and I don't see any reason why there wouldn't be another hung parliament. We shall see.
And why are so many elections these days?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are asking that, Olga. I mean, I deal with this judicial stuff, false accusations, and the British citizens' right to due process being watered down or eradicated. And I think it's important to stand up for the rights of British citizens. And not only have we watered down the right to due process, which has been around since its Magna Carta, more than 800 years. We're now watering down the results of elections. If you vote in a certain election and there's a majority, the government says no, we can't have that result. So I think there's this sense that the political parties don't represent the people, and they really represent themselves. There's this class of career politicians that work in government their whole lives, and they work in elected office their whole life, and anything they can do to stay in that role is what they want to do, and if they have to trample on the rights of citizens to maintain that, I think that's what's happening. But I think there's a sense in the country that British citizens are not properly represented by their elected officials. That's why we keep having all these elections to try and get some consensus on governing the people.
Yes. And tell me, how about the snap election? Is it a good thing? Or?
Yeah, well, this is called a snap election because it's a very small window of time. They call the election, then you have the election straight away. I think this is like kind of like a vehicle to sort of facilitate a government in power that's maybe not doing a very good job, and it's just trying to, I would think, pull the wool over the eyes of the people. I think there should be a sort of a finite amount of time where you could have all the debates and you can do all the campaigning and you can have all the discussion, and so the public are very well informed when they make their vote. And I think the snap election concept just kind of sums up where we are politically as a country. We can't get consensus, so we need to try and put pressure on the people just to sort of vote without having a sort of a well thought out process about what they want and which party can offer the best response to the needs of the people at the time.
Yeah, so you are saying that big political changes are coming.
Well, I don't think they're coming, Olga. I think they're here. I mean, they're happening as we speak. I think we're in the middle of this big political change rather than it being something that's going to be happening in the near future. This notion of all these this election one every 2 years or one every 1 year is part of this the British people telling the government that we're not satisfied with what's going on, and I'm just dealing with this judicial false accusations element of it, and I talk about gender relations as well. And but it's magnified into other areas well beyond just the judiciary. And I think there's a large portion of the country that's kind of out of touch with the government and vice versa. And I think the only solution is to have people in government that represent the people, and hopefully that's what will end up happening here. I don't think it'll be this election, but maybe next year's one.
Yes, and will Brexit happen?
Yeah, well, I think it'll happen. I mean, it's a process. It wasn't delivered on right after the Brexit vote as it said it was going to be. I don't think it'll happen soon, but I think it will happen in the future. Yeah, I mean, I think it's if you look at public opinion on on European integration, it's been waning over a very long period, and 2016 was just part of that process. And I think if you look at it 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 6 years from now, it'll continue to decline. So you know, on that metric, yeah, it definitely happen.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, David. Thank you, and thank you, viewers, for watching this video. Thank you, and see you soon.